So the hip flexors are responsible for flexing the hip, and they very, very often get strained, tight, painful. And these are really big muscles, and they're very important. They are kind of the powerhouse of the dog, and they will often get injured when, you know, they do these big bunny rabbit starts, or when they're twisting and turning while they're running after the ball, if they jump and they overextend their legs. So then you will see the shortened gait. They're not able to kick back as far because the muscle got overstretched and now it curls up to protect itself. So when we're talking about the hip flexors, we're talking about the groin, we're talking about the quads, and we're going to start working inside the groin. So we're going to just gently cusp our dog's quads by putting our hand inside the groin. Now be very, very gentle and very, very mindful, because this is very often a sensitive area for a lot of dogs. And once you placed your hand there, hang out for a second, see if your dog is giving you any feedback, if the dog is concerned or painful. So give them a second to just get used to the fact that you have your hand there. Like I said, massage is very different from petting because we touch areas that normally the dogs are not used to having touched, and definitely the groin area is one of those places. So hang out here for a little bit, and once your dog seems comfortable, we're going to start with our C-shaped hand, and we're going to start doing our kneading, pumping motion, kneading the dough. And just like with the arm, these are big, meaty muscles. So what we're doing here, we're bringing in fresh blood flow, we're bringing in nutrients and oxygen, and we're warming up the tissue, squeezing, releasing, gentle rhythmic movements up and down the quads. And we're going to do the same thing with the hamstrings. Technically, you can, if your dog, with a larger dog, you can do it on both sides at the same time, quads and hamstrings, but I prefer to work with one side at the time. So I like to gently place my hand under their knee, stabilizing the leg, and working with one area at a time. And you can move back and forth in between, working on the quads while you gently stabilize from the back, working on the hamstrings. And up and down. These are, most dogs, these are large, powerful muscles. In senior dogs, you might notice that the muscle is starting to atrophy. It's not as powerful, it's not as meaty, but this kind of pumping motion is going to be very helpful to stimulate the muscle and hopefully bring a little bit of kind of a wake up to the muscles that are starting to slowly atrophy. Now, once we're done, ask Rocco to move his head a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And once you're done, we're going to gently run our hands down the full length of the leg. And gently down the full length. I sometimes like to stop at the foot, just like we did with the front paws. I like to give them just little compressions. I know some dogs might not feel very comfortable with it. Some dogs might be a bit ticklish. Just work within your dog's comfort levels. And then I'll go back to doing my kneading motion again. And we're gonna bring it down the full leg.